Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Welcome back to the class number 18, which is on App Lab. We are working on creating applications. So the same logic will be applied for the applications, but we will see how you can do those in the App Lab. Okay. So last class we had seen with the text editor. So if you give a text, how you can do the font style or the size of it or the color of the text color, background color, all those things where has to be changed with the click event or the change event. Come on, today we'll see with some more activity with respect to the app lab, how we can do a very smart changes of your X and Y position. How can you identify the X and Y position and give some movements to it? Today is something called as rocket launcher. Okay. So say for example now, if you have a vehicle, so if you have to move forward, that means you need a fuel for it. What is a fuel? It's kind of an energy which gives you an to move forward or the backward side. The same way, even for a rocket, you need a fuel so that it flies up. But say, for example, it is having around 1,000 units of fuel inside it. So as the rocket is going up, so that means the consumption of the fuel is also increasing. So the fuel is getting lesser, lesser, lesser. Okay. So using this concept, we'll be looking up how you can do it. I'm presenting my screen now. First, let me run and show you how does this work. So today I'll be showing how you can put background images and all those things also. I'm sure everyone are aware of it, but just having a glance on. So when I say run, here the instruction says enter the amount of fuel you want to put in the rocket and press the launch button. Say for example, I'm giving it here as 5,000 because it's a rocket, we need more units. So once I say launch, you can see the rocket is going up, right? So as soon it is coming back, how is it coming back? Because of the fuel is empty over there. Since the fuel of 5,000 is done, it came back. Let's try with 9,000 then. I prefer it should go more than that. Sorry. Punch. Nice. You see that? It's going more up. See now I add one more zero over here. So it's very huge now. Let's see what it will do. Great. It is going up, up. Superb. It has flown away for us. Okay. Until that 90,000 fuel amount is done, it will keep on going on up. Okay. So that is what we wanted in today's class. So first we will see the design. As I said, you can put an image for the screen. How are you putting is let me show you with the new screen. I'm just creating a new screen called as screen. So you can click on choose over here for the screen. When you click on screen, you have a properties option called image. Click on choose of this, and over here if you have the things you can select them. If you don't have, you can say upload file, and then you can get the image from your desktop. I mean from your system. If you have images, you can upload it. This upload file, I'm sure everyone will be having up in the app lab, not like your sprite lab or game lab. In your app lab, you'll have this upload file option. So you can upload the image. Or say I don't have the image in my system, something I'm taking on online. So you have to go to link to image. Over here, you can see the URL. So that URL, the image URL, you have to paste over here and say submit. So the image will be seen. Say for example, now I'm just choosing any one of the screen. Let me use this. So when I say choose, you can see the image has been over here. Okay. That is what has been done for my screen one. Right. Now, next thing is an other image. So I am overlapping the images here. That is this station, rocket launcher station, as well as a rocket. So how do I do it? Simple. My screen too, I'm just showing it. So I'm taking an image and placing over here. I say choose for my image. And since I have this, I'm just choosing them. So once I choose, I can see this, but it's very small. Let me make it as 200. That is 200. Okay. Now it's fine. I can alter it. Okay. Once I'm here, I need to put a rocket. So what should I do? I take another image and place it over here and say choose. In this, I select a rocket. Okay. So I'm placing it over here. If the image is too bigger, you can just make it as a little bit smaller. Okay. So this is how it works. Okay. And over here you can observe it is a GIF because you can see that there is an the smoke which is coming up constantly because of the GIF. GIF is nothing but a collection of images. Yeah, a short video which you can watch. So that is how the images have been pasted here. And next is this is a label. So what I'm doing, I'm placing a label so to give instruction because when I give to some others to work on this app, so they should be aware what is this doing at first. So I need to give an instruction label. So I take a label and place it and I'm giving the instruction, the text. And remember not to change the ID. You're changing only the text. So you are giving it as enter the amount of fuel you want to put in the rocket and press launch button. So it is clearly said that whatever the amount of fuel you want, you put it over here and click on launch button. So this is the text input. That is this. Okay. And this is a button which we have used here, the launch. Okay. So this is how you do the design. Design is very easy. So we'll go to the board now. Okay. So I would like to show you one more thing over here. So when I say here, say 10,000, 10,000, I'm saying launch. Oh, here, do you see some numbers over here, which is raising up? It is decreasing as you can see. The amount is decreasing. As the rocket is going up, the amount is decreasing. And let it finish it. So when is the rocket coming down, you can observe. It has come to the 3 digit, it has come to minus. Do you see this? It's becoming as minus. So what is minus? So that means something is going down. The fuel is less, so it is going down. That is when the minus came up. So now let me show you one of the thing is this one. Say for example now 6843, 6813. So that means over here to here it is decreasing around 30 units. But the same thing, if you take this 6813 and 6777, so is it the same 30 units which is decreasing? No. So that means since we are not aware for each step when the rocket has to go from this level to this level, I'm not sure what is the fuel consumption required here. Maybe because of gravity, as it goes up, the fuel may be more consumption, or sometimes because of the climate or the weather condition, it may take more or less fuel consumption. So I'm not sure. So what I do, I use an option called random number. Okay, I'll explain that to you. So before going in, first thing, what should happen? Everything happens starts when I click on this launch button. So I'm saying that when I click on this launch button, on event is when. When I click on this launch button, the first thing which has to check is with the fuel what is here. So I'm creating a variable. Why a variable? Variable is a concept where it increases or decreases the value. So the fuel is the same way. It can increase or decrease also as the fuel is less. So I'm creating a fuel. But where do I'm getting the fuel? It's from the input of this text input, fuel input. Okay. When I go near the components, you can see the ID is fuel input there. So that's the reason I'm getting the property of fuel input from the text. It is a text which I'm getting the input from the fuel input. That is in my fuel. Now, time loop. Time loop, you get it from your control. So what is this time loop? Is nothing but a loop which helps you to do something for a interval of time. So there is a stop time loop also which stops this time. What is the number over here? One is nothing but and time for which it keeps on changing. 100 equals to 1 second. Okay, so 1 means very fractionator. So that means 100 equals to 1 second means, just imagine, right? So the same way here, I'm doing the changes. Whatever the rocket is moving up, I'm doing the changes for 1 millisecond, which you can. Now, what I'm doing, as I said, random number, because I'm not sure what is the fuel consumption which has to be taken. I'm using a random number from 20 to 70. So for every 1 millisecond, the fuel consumption can go for from 20 to 70 range. So it can choose 21 or 69 or 58, any number it can choose. Okay? That is what is the random number. So that number is being assigned to fuel consumption. So I know my fuel consumption, I know my fuel. So how do is the reduced fuel you get? That is from the fuel minus fuel consumption. Say for example, the first in the starting they have entered 10,000. Okay. After 3 millisecond, sorry, after 1 millisecond, after one time look, the fuel consumption is somewhere around 30 over here. So that means from 10,000, I have to minus 30, and that is what the fuel next which will carry forward. So that's the reason we need to minus. Next is a part of console log. Console log is nothing but which you saw over here. This one which I showed. This is called debug console. So if you get some errors or warnings, whatever it is, you can see in the debug console. So just show it whether it is working fine or not to understand for you better. We use this console log. So what is console log? To print something in that this part is called console log. What I'm printing the fuel. That is why you can observe it. The fuel is shown here. Okay. Now coming back, what we have to check, if the fuel is more than 0, then the rocket has to go up. If the fuel is less than 0, the rocket has to go down. So that's the reason we use if else. What is if? If this is true, then do inside this. Else, go and do the second. That is what is if. So what I'm doing, I'm checking if the fuel is greater than 0, then I'm setting the rocket position. There is a set position option over here. You see this? So what is the, it shows ID, X, Y, width, and height. So that means when I have to use the set position option, so I need those parameters. So what is parameters? Is something the value input which you give. So I'm saying that I'm setting a position of my rocket. X is same. What is happening here? See, when I keep my mouse here, you can see X is 158 and Y is 197. So that means as I go up, it's only the Y decreasing. X is constant. X is not changing actually. Only the Y is decreasing. So that's the reason X I'm keeping constant. The Y position, whatever the rocket position is there. So say for example, at the rocket, the Y position is 375. So after 1 millisecond, it has to decrease by 1. That is 374 it has to go. With the height and width. Height and width I'm keeping as constant because I don't want my rocket to plot up, become thin or short or anything. It should be the constant, however it moves up or down. So that is with your rocket when it is greater than 0. If it is less than 0, what should happen? Since the rocket has to come down, your Y has to increase. So I'm increasing by 1. Got it? So what am I doing? I'm checking with the fuel and consumption. Whatever is the consumption, I'm minusing with the fuel to get the current fuel. Then that I put it in console log. If the fuel is greater than 0, then I make the rocket to go up. If the fuel is less than 0, that is an else part, then it will come and make your rocket to move down. Okay. Next, over here you can observe that. So when I say for example, now 600 and I say launch. So the rocket is going up. As soon as it is done, it is going down. You can observe it once the rocket has gone fully down. It will come back to the same position on the start. You see that? It went down, it came back to the same position. That means as the rocket reaches very below down, the rocket has gone fully down, it has to come up to the same position. So if the fuel is less than 0, what is double and sign? Double and sign, you can get it in math option over here. So this is nothing but and Boolean operator. what happens here? Why do we use it? Say, for example, you have to check left hand side is also true, the right hand side is also true. When both the conditions are true, then do something. Say, for example, now your score, your marks in your score, it says your score is 15, 60, okay, which is 60. So here, even you should be passed, as well as you have to check whether you have first class, right? So the first class condition always comes as if your score is greater than 60, you're first class. If you're greater than 40, you have passed. So that means over here, you are checking with the first condition as well as second condition. The same way here, if the fuel is less than 0 and the Y position of rocket is less than 450. 450 is the last number which you can get on the Y. Sorry, rocket is greater than 450. Okay? So that means the rocket has gone down and the fuel is also empty. So in such case, what should happen? The rocket has to come up again. I'm setting the position of the rocket. This is X position. This is Y position. This is the width and the height position. And I'm setting the text as fuel input to null. That means this text box will become empty again. And the fuel becomes 0. We are stopping the time. Okay? So this is how it works. So what and all you're doing, you are getting the input from the fuel. And if the fuel is greater than 0, you're making the rocket to move up every 1 pixel for every 1 millisecond. If the fuel is less than 0, you're coming below. As the rocket is going outside of your speed and the fuel is less than 0, then you're making the rocket to be placed at the starting position. So I hope everyone has understood this, right? So please practice them. It's very easy just to understand the basic concepts of the X and Y position. Okay? And for today's class project will be instead of the rocket, I just want you to do for a car or a motorbike race where you put up the fuel and they can move up and down. Kind of a race to just observe it, how does the fuel get consumed on it. The concept is same. Instead of rocket, just put a different image and a car or a bike, any other image which you want. Okay? Hope everyone enjoyed it and understood it. Please complete your project and submit me up as soon as possible. Okay then, you all.